Once upon a time, Postman Pat was driving through the village when he heard a lot of commotion in front of him. A commotion is when there's a lot of noise of people talking loudly and excitedly. So he stopped his post office van, his red van, to see what the matter was. Jess, his cat, got out of the van too, because Jess wanted to know what the matter was. Everybody was talking very loudly, and then he saw the problem. There was a cow in the middle of the road, and Farmer Giles was trying to push it out of the road, but the cow was stood very fast and firm and wouldn't budge. He wouldn't move. Most people didn't dare to push the cow because they were frightened of it, but Farmer Giles and one or two other people helping push, but it wasn't enough. "Can you help?" said Father Giles to Postman Pat. "Can you help me push my cow out of the road? He should go back in the field." So Postman Pat came over and started to push, but the cow would not move. It wouldn't budge. It didn't move an inch. It stayed where it was. The cow seemed as if it was stuck in concrete. Well, it wasn't, but it behaved like it was. It just wouldn't move. "Moo," said the cow, which meant, "I want to stay here. I don't want to move." Well, there were now 4 people pushing it. There was Farmer Giles, there was a couple of people who had helped from the crowd, and Postman Pat. Everybody was pushing the cow, but it wouldn't move. "Whatever will we do?" said Postman Pat. "I can't deliver the letters if I can't get past the cow." "Well, I don't know. It's not my fault. It's the cow's fault," said Farmer Giles. "What can we do?" said Postman Pat. Just then, Jess the cat came up, holding something in his mouth. "What do you got in there in your mouth?" said Postman Pat. And he looked down and saw that Jess was holding some straw. "Now," said Postman Pat, "that gives me an idea. Farmer Giles, where are your bales of straw?" "Well, they're in the farmyard, of course," said Farmer Giles. "Quick, come with me. We're going to get a bale of straw. I have an idea." So Postman Pat and Farmer Giles ran into the field and picked up a large bale of straw. And then they went out into the road where the cow was still standing, pulled some straw off the bale of straw, and waved it in front of the cow's nose. The cow sniffed it and then went, "Moo."
What?
And then the cow opened his mouth and ate the straw. "He likes it," said Postman Pat. Now for my plan." So Postman Pat took some more straw from the bale of straw and held it in front of the cow's nose. The cow sniffed it. Then the cow went, "Moo." And then the cow opened his mouth to eat it. But just as he was about to chomp down on the straw, Postman Pat moved it a little bit further away from his nose. The cow leaned forward to get it. Postman Pat moved it forward a little bit more, just out of reach of the cow's nose. "Moo, moo," said the cow. Means, "I want it." "Here you are then," said Postman Pat. "Come and get it." The cow leaned forward as far as he could, but he couldn't reach the straw, which was just in front of his nose. Finally, the cow took a step forward to reach it, and then Postman Pat gave him the straw, and the cow, one step forward, stayed where he was. "Want some more?" said Postman Pat. "Moo," said the cow, which means, "Yes, please." So Postman Pat took some more straw from the bale of straw, waved in front of the cow's nose. The cow sniffed it. Then the cow said, "Moo," which means, "Looks nice, I'd like to eat that." Then the cow opened his mouth to eat it, but just as he was about to chomp down on the straw, Farmer Pat moved it a little bit further away from his nose. So the cow leaned forward to try to eat it. "Moo," and opened his mouth. But Postman Pat moved it a little bit further forward. Finally, the only way the cow could reach it would be to take another step forward.
Daddy, why can't?
So the cow walked forward one step, and was about to eat it when Postman Pat moved it a little bit further away. The cow stepped forward, opened his mouth, and then Postman Pat moved it further away. The cow stepped forward, and every time the cow stepped forward to go after the straw, Postman Pat moved it a little bit further away, and in no time at all, Postman Pat had led the cow back into the field. When the cow was in the field, Postman Pat gave him the big bale of straw to eat, saying, "There you are, Mr. Cow or Mrs. Cow. That's your reward for following me into the field." Well, the cow didn't like being tricked, so the cow said, "Moo, moo," which basically means, "I wanted to stay where I was. You've tricked me." But then the cow looked down at the straw and thought, that looks very tasty. So the cow gave up protesting and decided to eat the straw. And that made the cow very happy. And everybody was happy because now the road was clear and nobody was blocking the road, and Postman Pat could get back in his van, and Jess got in the back of the van too, and off they went through, what's the name of the town? Is it Tumbletown? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, off they went through the town and delivered all the letters. And that's the end of the story.